Hi guys, good afternoon, good day from wherever you're watching from. It's your girl Rose. So, like I promised before, I promised to be consistent and show up more often on my YouTube channel, and that's what I'm doing. I'm just literally fulfilling my promises. So today, before we go into the business of today, I want to start by saying thank you so much for your engagement on my last post, on my previous post, for liking, for sharing, for commenting, and for subscribing. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for dropping your 2 cents, your contributions. It really, really matters to me a lot, and I'm so grateful for that. So, in the spirit of wedding planning series, we are going to be opening the series with this video that I'm going to be doing today. With this particular one, I don't know what we're supposed to name it, but I guess I'll figure it out. But for this video, I'm literally just talking about. I decided that it would be nice to put the whole series into like different parts because it's not something I can speak on. Else, the video will be so lengthy, and I'm so sure that you will not watch it. So today we are just starting with what are those things that I did. For the record, like I mentioned before, I got married this year by March this year, and I planned my wedding. I started planning my wedding actively in November of 2025, November last year. My introduction was in October 25th, I think last Saturday of October. But I started planning actively in November, like maybe second week of November or thereabout. So there are certain things that you must know if you're planning your wedding by yourself. Now, the reason I planned my wedding by myself is not just because I couldn't afford to get an event planner. I don't think that was the case. But I just wanted to do it myself. I wanted to do it myself. I knew I could do it. I've planned a couple of weddings before, but I just wanted to do it. But let me tell you, it's not child's play. So if you are able to afford it and if you're not cut out for that, it's not something you can do, then by all means, outsource it, pay somebody to do it. People are actually paid to do that as a profession. But me, I decided that I was going to do it myself. And yes, and I know that event planners don't charge their fees are not cheap. They can be affordable, but they are not cheap because it's a lot of work. So if you want to plan your wedding rather, the first thing that you must know. So I have my phone here. I wrote some things down because I want to be able to keep my thoughts aligned and just to make sure the flow is flowing. So the first thing that you must know is what kind of wedding do you want to do. There are different kind of weddings, and for every wedding that you want to do, you know how they say even your boo get a boo. Even inside your average wedding, there's an average. There's a small wedding. See, small wedding has classes. There's small wedding class A, small wedding class B, small wedding class C. So you must define how small or how big you want it to be. So because these things are very, very relative. So for me, I knew that I wanted to do a church wedding, a traditional marriage, and also a reception, right? Um, but I wanted it to be small. But my small, like I said, may not be something like small because I planned for 300 guests. So wait, before you say 300 guests and small, I did initially start out to planning for 300 guests. Left for me, I was going to plan for 200 max. That was what I was going to do. But families advised, my spouse, my siblings advised that it's better to expand on the number of people than to underplan. So we decided that okay, we will not over like that, but we'll just add an allowance because of people that just to accommodate people that were going to come. And I didn't use it strictly by invitation. I was going to, but by the time I realized it was already late and I didn't want any issues. So I just decided to just go with the flow. Because if I wanted to, it was right from the onset. Before invitations go out, I would have done that. But invitation had gone out if I was like maybe a few weeks to the wedding when I thought that it would be nice to do like a very intimate strictly by invitation wedding. So I didn't bother, I just left it. But it was still very, very coordinated. It was still very coordinated. I had security, like bouncers there. I had, people. There were not so many people that I didn't want to come that came, to be honest. The people that I wanted them to come significant in the scheme of things. They were not very plenty. So yes. So you must determine what kind of weddings do you want to do. Some people have 2 days weddings. They have weddings for Friday, Saturday. I know some people that even do 1 week. They start with mother's night. They start with children's night, bridal shower, and all those bobo tibo. But me, I did everything on 1 day. I didn't do 2 days because apart from the fact that 2 days wedding, a 2 day wedding or 2 days wedding is very expensive. It's more expensive. It's also stressful. Okay, it's not stressful. 1 day is more stressful, but it's expensive. It's really really expensive because you have to pay like double the thing. If you're cooking on Friday, you pay caterer for the day they are cooking, you buy food for that day, the next day you are buying food, maybe hotel accommodation, logistics. It's just really, if you have families that are coming from far and they're supposed to stay for one night before, it has already doubled now and they're staying for 2 nights, so hotel and all those things. So I just knew that it won't work for me. Let me just do one, because I was not planning to break the bank because I was doing the wedding. I We're going to do what we were very very going to afford. There's something that I want to say that is very very important. If you are planning a wedding, you are a bride or you are the groom. See, let me tell you, have your money, because that's the only way you can be able to enforce the kind of wedding that you have. Because your parents cannot be paying for your wedding, for instance, and you say this kind of wedding you want to have, except if your parents are Gen Z parents. But if you have the typical African parents that you know that anything that makes them be the one to buy the cow, they are calling 1 million people, then there's nothing you can do. That is already out of your jurisdiction. But if you know that you want your wedding a certain way, fund it. That's what we did. We knew we wanted our wedding a certain way, and we were not going to burden anybody with that. We didn't want anybody to be deciding for us this is what you should do or not. So we did what we could do, what we could afford. Of course, the family support, yes, but family support was not 80% of what we did. In fact, the support the family gave was, but we are very very grateful for supportive family, siblings, and all that. So you must know the kind of wedding that you want to do. Like I said, number one, determine if you want to do a 2 days wedding. Know that it's times of whatever you plan. If you want to do a 1 day wedding, it's lesser. That's number one point. Number two is sourcing vendors. Or before I go to vendors, number of guests. Mind you, the number of guests that you are using for your wedding, or that you are inviting for your wedding, determines to a great extent how much you will spend. For instance, if you are calling 700 people, you know that a 300 capacity hall cannot take them, and the price of a 300 capacity hall is different from the price of 800 capacity hall. So if you are inviting 700 people, you should be looking at a hall that can take like 800, just so that for space management, so that everywhere is not just as if we are doing a carnival. So that's very important. Know the number of guests early. And the way you can, like I said, influence this is that make sure that you are paying. If you're not the one paying, that is your family that are bringing all the money, my sister, just let them do the wedding for you, and people should just go and marry and let them come she wedding for you. You understand? Let them do the wedding for you. You should just be going, and don't stress yourself. If you don't mind, that's right. But if you know that is what you want to do, be ready to spend your money. Be ready to spend your money. And I always advise, do what you can afford. You don't want to do a wedding and you are taking loans, you are begging for money, you are being in debt, you are owing. It's not nice, because you're just starting your life. You need a lot of stability in the first few months or start of your marriage. So yes, number of guests is important. Then I wanted to speak about um sourcing your vendors. So because this is going to be in part, there are other things that I would say in the other part that I don't want to touch now. So it's very important that you don't just watch only this one and conclude that, oh, you can plan your wedding. Because planning is structure. Planning is making sure things can work. It's just like an automation. Things can work behind you. So I made use of spreadsheets, and I always emphasize the use of spreadsheets. And I came up with a spreadsheet myself. I did a sheet. That one will come in the next video, of how to track, the progress of things, expenses, how to track vendors, the status of things, what is in on hold, what is in progress, what has been completed, and the likes. So that one I'm going to talk about in a separate video. So for sourcing vendors, see, let me tell you something. There's a vendor for everyone. Do you know that the way they are doing cakes, celebrities are doing cakes of 20 million. There are people that are doing cake of 200K. Do you know that there's somebody that can do cake of 20K? It's you that will now determine which type of cake do you want, because there is cake and there is cake. If you get what I mean. But what I'm trying to say is that, see, there's somebody for you. You just need to know how to search. I always tell people that never see, I'm a CI, is this CIO now? Like, I'm an intelligence person. There's nobody that I'm looking for. As long as you can give me a phone, social media, give me a small hint, I can look for anybody. So if you have anybody that is missing, or anybody you are trying to, you are what's the word now? Anybody you're stalking online, you don't want them to know, come to me. You for a small money, I will find them out for you. So like what I was saying, And mind you, while I was planning my wedding, I was not even in Abuja. Abuja, my wedding was going to hold in Abuja, but I was not in Abuja. I was in Lagos because of work and other things. So I was not. I went for my wedding a week to my wedding. I traveled to Abuja a week to my wedding. So I was not actively there. All I had was, and for somebody who works Monday to Fridays as a remote worker, I only had my weekends to plan. And let me tell you, for all of the things that I did, I only went to market once. Once. I went to market just once. The truth is that I had other needs reasons to go to market, but I was able to use my gracious friend. The truth is you can achieve everything in one. If you have your money, you can go to market once. All those ones that people are saying you are planning wedding, you go to market today, tomorrow, next tomorrow, you are going to market, literally you go to market every week, leading for 3 months, leading to your wedding. That's so much stress. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. So what I did was that I just knew that this is what I want. And let me tell you, before my wedding, I already knew the color that I was using. I already knew a lot of things. So it was just very straightforward. I know what I want. I know what fits me. I know what will flatter the kind of body I have and everything. And I went for it. I was not comparing that, oh, this person wore a gown and the corset is snatched. Oh, yeah, you to wear. Because I know people's bodies are different. So that's by the way, anyways. So you should know your vendor. I was talking about having knowing vendors that suit your budget. Budget is very important. If I had not already mentioned it, it's important to have your budget. If you want to plan your wedding with 100K, know how you want to split it. If you want to collect DJ inside the 100K, you want to buy cake inside the 100K, you want to pay all inside the 100K, know how it can fit it and look for the people of your size. Ladies and men to them. Did you know that while I was planning this my wedding, I think it was even for pre-wedding picture. The shocker started from when we were planning our pre-wedding pictures. Somebody told me to bring 1.5 million for pre-wedding picture. They said drone. That I should come and pay 1.5 million for drone. I said drone for what? Know the things that you can do and do without. You can do it and do without. Because like, why am I using a drone for pre-wedding picture? Is it fine? Yes. Do I need it? No. Because it's just unnecessary money for me, at least for now. So know the kind of vendors that suit you if you are searching for vendors online. And let me tell you something. Even though I got like most of my vendors online because, like I said, I was not in Abuja. I got most of my vendors online, but I knew my level. I was not going for the one of Lagos people or the one of one for this. I was looking for people that would deliver. So I was weighing my options, looking at people that I know that could deliver, that were average, but they could still deliver. And let me tell you, everybody delivered. Every single person delivered, except, of course, one or two people that I'm not going to be giving any credit here because I'm still very, very upset. But I let that go. But the very, very important things for me, really, they ate. People ate. The food was good. The music was good. The contents was good. Our dresses were good. It's just the other few things that that didn't work as I planned. Because the truth is, be ready that some things will go well and some things will not go well. Just that by now I'm very, very cool and calm. And some of our wedding pictures. See, photographers. Don't worry, we'll talk about in our next video. Photographers. If they or tailors, if trumpet sound today, they are the first to enter a fire. I don't know. I don't know the first person that will get there. But to see photographers and tailors, oh my Jesus! That is not in any way saying that my tailor. In fact, my tailor was the highlight of my wedding. My fashion designer. My clothes was made by Rolake MBR woman on Instagram. Very, very, very good. 100%. It was not cheap, oh. It was not cheap. But what I'm trying to say really is that photographers are not good people, please. They are not good people. And if you need good pictures, be ready to pay. Cheap photographers are not good. My photographer was not cheap, but it's not good. So you see that photographer, you have to first do fasting and prayer, consult the oracle, consult a lot of things, put your eye on the ground, put your ear on the ground. If you can even pay for a test, maybe snap a wedding picture with them. Just do one small test with them, or look for a child and pay for their birthday shoots. Let you even see how to come out first. Because if you go the trust photographer, you will cry out tears. So yeah, I think that this video is getting longer, but the summary of what I want to say is that there's a vendor for everybody. You can get a vendor for the budget that you have. If your plan is to sew your ashoke or your lace for 100,000, there are tailors that are collecting it. But what you also know is that, let me tell you, good things are expensive. Before you say, Shebi, you said that the tailor, even if I have 100K, they can. You cannot give Vicky James 100K to sew clothes for you. So good things actually cost money. Just know that, settle yourself. And let me tell you, weddings are not cheap. No matter how you're trying to do budget, you will spend money. Except the only thing you're doing is that you're going to court and you're coming back. Even for court now, do you know that they're collecting plenty money? Yes. In case if you didn't know, yes. So there's a vendor for everybody. Maybe another 3 or 4 videos is going to come after this, just before we call it a wrap, I think. So I'm trying to see. Okay, for next part, we're also going to talk about like negotiables and non-negotiables, and also how to make sure that your Google Sheet is working for you, right? To track things. I'm going to go deeper into each vendor, deeper, and the pros and cons of using either a DJ or live band or whatnot. So I'm going to do all that in a separate video. Please watch and engage with my with this content. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to have to stop at this point, then we'll take it up from here next time. Please don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and comment. Thank you. Bye.